Hi, Sea Farm. How are you all doing? I hope you're enjoying the whole season and the weather this time. So in this tutorial, I have a beautiful one for you, and this is this turtleneck keyhole dress that you can see on the screen. Is really a lovely and interesting tutorial. But in this one, I shared the whole dress, the making of the dress in this tutorial. But in my next, I'll be sharing how I made this beautiful and relaxed turtleneck with the puff sleeve. If this sounds like what you've been interested in knowing how I did it, then you have to stick around as usual till the end, and I will show you every bit of this video and how I achieved this lovely dress. Do not cut any parts and you will surely enjoy this video. Now let's get right into it. Now here is my basic bodice. I've already drafted it. If you don't know how to draft a basic bodice block, then you have to check my description box, as I'll be tagging or I'll be linking it up there so that you can look at how I made this basic bodice block. Now the next thing to do is just to go ahead and drop the neck. The basic neck that I used here is 3x3, but I'm dropping it now by 4. You can use 4 or 4¼ or just how you want it. Okay, now the next thing to do is just to take a level. Watch how I'm using my pattern master to draw a line like so. Okay, the line is slightly curved, not really like straight. So having marked that, I am going to take a point along this line. I took about 3.5 inches. Feel free to do yours, make it as wide as you want. I'm just trying to make the keyhole or the angular shape that you can see on the video. Okay, now having marked that 3.5 inches point, I will just connect it to the basic neck line just like I did right now. Okay, now that is it for that part. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just to drop on my armhole where I want the princess dart to be. Okay, if your armhole measurement is 9, you can take 4.5, just the half of the armhole measurement there. When I say 9, I mean half of the armhole measurement. Okay, now having done that, I connected it to the bust point. Now I dropped this by 1 inch, as you can see, and I am also connecting this to the bust point. Watch closely to understand what I am doing. I'm supposed to extend here by 1 inch, so I will be adding paper there to be able to extend it further. Pay attention and you'll understand everything I'm doing is very easy to understand, or at least easy when you pay attention. Okay, so now I'll be extending that line by 1 inch, but I'll be making use of the armhole part of my pattern master to get a curve that continues, you know, with the curve that I'm pattern of the curve that I'm already making or that I've already made. Okay, I extended it by an amount and I will go ahead and use my tape to measure out 1 inch on there. Okay, so I'm measuring 1 inch now. I will just mark it and I will smoothen it to the armhole. Watch closely to see what I am doing. Okay, so that is it. I just connected it to the armhole just as you can see me do, and yeah, that is it for the front pattern. Just remove the excess of the paper added and go ahead and continue with the pattern making. Now I'm just going ahead to measure the underbust. I want to do underbust tightening on this armhole princess dart, and that is the underbust 9, which is about 3 inches to 3¼ inches from the bust point. Now I will go in there by 3/4 and towards the center front by 1/4. I hope you understand. Now connect to the bust point just as I am doing right now. Okay, I'm just trying to pin it down well so that the paper I added will not be shifting. Now just connect this to the bust point and also connect the 1/4 inch mark the other way to the bust point, and that is it. The next thing to do is to walk this through to the waistline, connect it to the waist dart, just as you can see. One left like 1/4 inch space from the that, and the other one rhymed exactly with the that. I hope you noticed that. Okay, now I'll be adding that 1/4 inch to the waistline so that the waist will not be smaller for any reason. I hope you understand. Now I'm going ahead to cut it out. Be very attentive and you will understand everything that I am doing. And ensure you do yours like this and you get the perfect fit. In this tutorial, I'm treating the body of the dress, mainly the bodice, okay? In my next, I will be showing you how I made the bishop collar. You won't want to miss it. It's a very, very, like, okay, I don't know if you know about it, but then when you see it, it's really an interesting one. You'll be wondering, can bishop collar be cut like this? But yeah, I'll be showing that in my next tutorial. You won't want to miss it. Now this is the back. I'll just go ahead and put the dart after I have cut it on fabric. Okay. Now these are my pattern sets, the front and the back. Watch closely to see everything I'm doing. I'm just going in there by about 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch, and I connected to the neckline like so. I will do the same thing for the back. The reason why I did this is just to take the bishop collar slightly away from the neckline, just as you can see in the picture. Okay, the base of the bishop collar will be away from the neckline somehow, a little, but yes, the bishop collar is still lapping perfectly on the neck. You won't want to miss the next tutorial, trust me. Okay, now I'll just trim it off. You won't want to miss the next. Ensure that you subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell to see when I upload the next tutorial. Trust me to always give you quality on this channel. Now, having done this, I will trim out that excess that is there. I'll trim it away like so and keep it aside. I'll do the same thing for the front part, just as you can see me do, and then I will also keep it aside. Now you can see that center part that I am pointing right now. This center part I will be removing about 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch from that point. I'll come down by about 1/4 inch and smoothing it to the neck. Now this is because I don't want the bishop collar to make my clients uncomfortable for any reason, okay? But everything will still lie perfectly, as you saw at the beginning of the video. You can tell that the bishop collar is lapping perfectly and very relaxed and very comfortable as well. Now I've taped everything down, the extension, the paper extension I made for that part, and I'll be trimming off every excess that I do not need there. And yes, that is the side, and those are the other parts of the pattern. Okay. Now this is the fabric I'll be using for this project. I will just go ahead and keep it on fold, just as you can see. I just cut out about 1 yard and placed it on fold, placed my patterns on it. This is the center front. I'll also be placing the side just like so, and also the back. Arrange it well, pin it down. Air was disturbing me here, so I had to pin it down properly, and yeah, that is it. That is the fold. Now I'm just trying to, cut open the side bust dart to close it up to complete the front pattern. And that is all I did. I'll just go ahead and tear it open out and then tape it down. Now, having done that, the next thing that I am going to do is just to go ahead and pin it down. I don't want this tutorial to be too long, and that is why I did not include the sleeve and the bishop collar on it, because I noticed that when it's too long it could make it uninteresting and all that. So I decided to just split it into 2 videos so that it will be more interesting and then clearer as well, as it will make you to pay more attention. Yes, that is just all. Now, having done that, I'm going to cut out the neckline like so, and yes, I will cut out the remaining parts of the pattern. I'll cut it out and also go ahead to cut, you know, every other part of the pattern. Do well to subscribe, guys, to my channel, and you will not regret it. I have lots of fun tutorials to share with you on this channel, and you will not want to miss any one of it. Also, do not forget to turn on your notification bell so that you will be the first to know each time I upload my lovely videos. Here I'm just marking the seam allowances so that I will put notches. I'm also, putting marks on some striking landmarks like underbust, bust point, and the rest of them. Okay, especially on the center front. If you don't put it, this one that I am notching now, you get confused after the pattern has been finished and you remove the pattern papers. Okay, so ensure that you always notch your patterns. It makes everything easier and smoother. Yeah. Please put your notches as I did on these my patterns, and you will be happy you did. Try it out. It makes sewing very easy and clear. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and cut out my linings and interface the clothing. You can see I have interfaced with both wadding and the hairstay, just as you can see in the video. That is the fabric, and this is the back part. I just used hairstay only on it because it doesn't need wadding. Wadding is for bust area. Now this is the lining. You can see how I applied wadding on the side and also at the center. Now I'm going to put interfacing at the neck and also to cover the keyhole that I made at that center front. I'm also going to put on the neckline. Okay, now this is the interfacing I'm using. It's not very thick, but yeah, thick enough to add structure or to add body to the parts of the lining that I want to be putting it. Now this is how I'll be placing this lining, and I will cut out where I want. I'm going to cut it out just the way I want it, and then trim it out like more like a facing, not really a facing, just to cover the area that I want it to be. Now I'm going ahead to cut another one because this interfacing is tissue paper and is not very strong like the gum stay, so I'm doing it double so that it will give me the body, the level of structure or the level of weight that I want for that part of the neckline. And I had to cut for the back neckline as well, just as you can see. And yes, I cut this one like a facing. I'm also going ahead to cut it too so that I will double it just as I did with the front to give me the level of structure or body that I need for that part of the lining. Now having done that, this is what I have. I have applied everything and it has given the structure that I want all over that place. And this is the skirt. This is the front skirt. Okay, I've already gone ahead to cut it. I'll be linking up in the description box just in case you want to know how to make a basic skirt pattern. It's quite an easy one to do, and I will be linking it up in the description box. And here I have my pattern pieces, the center front, and this is the center front lining as well. I'm going to stitch on the neckline. Watch closely to see how I am going to do this. I intentionally did not cut open the armhole and keyhole parts of that lining. I'm going to stitch it round the keyhole right now. I've stitched it down. Now I've cut that part open on the lining and I'm going ahead to notch round the keyhole. Okay, that is how to do it, and you have to open it up like this and top stitch. Push the allowance to the lining side and top stitch. I've also ironed down, as you can see. Now the next thing to do is to stitch down the sides of the pattern to it. Here I've stitched it down to both the lining and the fabric, just as you can see. Now I'm going to put my darts on the back pattern and Yes, I'll show you what next to do. Here I have stitched around the body of the front, and I've also stitched the dart for the back. Okay, just like so. Now I'm just going to, just place the lining on the back and just hold it together, because I won't be touching the neckline as it will be having a bishop collar. So I'll leave it rough like that. Now watch closely what I did. I had to come down by about 3/4 inches or 1 inch, and I'm making a sort of keyhole. To make that keyhole, I'm marking the zip allowance, okay, because it will serve as a guideline. Okay, I came down by about 1/4 inches, okay, and then I'm marking a keyhole. Just feel free to make the keyhole as open as you want it, okay. If you want it to be like 3 inches or 4, feel free to do that. Mine is about 3 inches. Now this is to ensure that the zipper goes as low as I want it. I want it to get to the hips or even 1.5 inches below the hip. That is why I made that keyhole, to give me that, opportunity to make the zipper to drop. Now this is the keyhole, as you can see, and I will go ahead and structure that keyhole part. I've already structured it. I've applied that tissue paper double on that keyhole that I just made. It wasn't in the original pattern. I just thought it is nice that the zipper goes down. I have trimmed that side because it is going to have the button loop, so I trimmed extra 1/2 inch from that side that will carry the button loop, if you understand what I mean. I'm also trimming the half here on the fabric because I just need 1/2 inch allowance, not 1 inch like zipper allowance. Okay, I'll go ahead and close up the hole at the back. Now this is what it looks like. Okay, the part that will carry the button loop is still open, so I'm going to make my button loop and I will insert it and stitch it down. I will also stitch the opposite side that is going to carry the button. I hope you understand. Now this is what I'm using to make my button loop. You can see the measurements that I took. Okay, I am folding it up like this to make the button loop. This is what it looks like. Now, having done that, the next thing I'm going to do is just to fix it like so. Watch closely to see what I am doing. I'm going to fix it and stitch it down and then turn it up. Now I've stitched the loop down. Make it as wide as you want it, depending on the size of your button. Okay, it's the button that will determine how big the loop will be. You can always fit it up on your button to be sure how wide you want your loop to be. Here I have closed it up and you can see my button loop there. You can see if it's too wide, you can still tack it closed more using your needle and thread. That is just what I'm trying to describe there. Now this is what it will look like after I have put my zipper. That is just what I'm trying to explain there. Now, having done this, I'm going to close up the sides of the back, just as I'm pointing. Okay. Here, I'm notching the middle of the center front of the bodice. Now, I'll go ahead and mark the middle of the skirt as well, so that it will rhyme with the dart. I'm just trying to mark the dart line so that everything will rhyme, not the dart being at one place and another at the other place. I just marked 1 inch dart and I'll be holding it at the middle and stitching the dart. I'll stitch it in a way that it will rhyme with the first point that I marked, so that the dart will rhyme with the dart on the bodice. You can see what I did. Now fold it over like so and stitch it down on the bodice. So stitch the skirts to the bodice like so, and also do the same for the back. Now I've stitched down the darts of the back skirt and it is matching exactly with the upper bodice of the back. Now I will close it up like so, stitch it on the waist, and I will show you what next. Now here I have stitched the waist down. I've stitched the waist down and I've serged where necessary. You can see that I've serged every side that I need and even on the waistline. Now what I'm going to do now is to mark out where I want my zipper to be. Usually the hip is about 8 inches from the waistline, but I'm going to go down by about 10 inches because that is where I want my zipper to start from. Okay, I will go in like this, and this is where I will stop stitching. Good, that is where I will stitch. I will stitch close there and leave the remaining part as the slit of the skirt. You can see the slits. You can see I've already used my hemming gum to gum down the slit. You can see how neat it's looking. Now the next thing I'll do is just to stitch down my zipper, following the zipper allowance. Very important, follow the allowance. Don't take less than the allowance or more than the allowance, so that everything will relax as it's supposed to be. Now this is me just checking that the zipper is at the level I want it to be. So this is all. I'll just go ahead and put my button when I am ready. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just to join the shoulder. I'm going to join the shoulder of this dress, lining to lining and fabric to fabric. You can see how I'm demonstrating that. I've gone ahead to do that, and I've also stitched down the armhole. Okay, I'll go ahead and close up the side and also fix the sleeve and the collar. I did not show all that in this video. Here I've fixed the sleeve, the puff sleeve. The puff sleeve have something like elastic on it, and I'll be treating all this in the next tutorial. You will not want to miss it. You can see that it is exactly like the pinned picture that I'm trying to replicate. You won't want to miss the next tutorial. This is me cutting the collar. I don't know if you have seen where bishop collar is cut on flay like this, but if this is what you'll be interested in, bishop collar with ruffles and of course relaxed and fitted like this and even comfortable, then you have to come with me to the next tutorial where I will dish out everything I did to achieve this beautiful bishop collar. Thank you guys for watching my tutorials, and also try to subscribe and turn on your notification bell to be the first to know each time I upload my lovely videos. Thank you for always stopping by, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Love you all.